Om. 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 Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Aim Saraswate Namaha. Om Shri Guruve Namaha. My humble Sashtang Pranams at the holy lotus feet of Pujya Gurudev, Pujya Shri Swami Jyotirmayananda Ji Maharaj of Yoga Research Foundation, Miami, Florida. Pranams to all saints and sages, and to all aspirants, all devotees who are listening to this satsang. Heartfelt pranams, divine love light, bless to each one of you as we progress. May our Lord and our Guru forever, eternally be connected with our soul. May we be one with that supreme consciousness as we take every step towards self-realization. May Lord shower, Gurudev shower His choicest blessings upon each one of us. Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrasham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Saravadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Sadgurum Tam Namami. Adorations to the Divine Preceptor, who is the bliss of Brahman, the giver of supreme joy, the embodiment of pure consciousness, beyond the pairs of opposites, vast like the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond all modifications. To that divine Guru, we offer our adorations. Today is Aja Ekadashi also. So Narayana, Narayana, Shriman Narayana. If you have opportunity, you can Google the story of Aja Ekadashi, the Katha. You can listen to that. It's very, very, very auspicious. And may Lord Narayan, in the form of Ma Ekadashi, on this Ekadashi day, very auspicious day, may Lord Narayan eternally bless each one of you. Shakti, Bhakti, Mukti. Narayana, Narayana, Shriman Narayana. Om Mangalam Bhagwan Vishnu, Mangalam Garudhvaja, Mangalam Pundarikakshay, Mangalaye Tanohari. Sab kuch mangal ho. May all be auspicious. May all be blissful. Every step, every thought, every action, every word, may it be pure and auspicious. The Mystery of the Soul, Katha Upanishad, translated into English by Pujya Gurudev, Pujya Sri Swami Jyotirmayanandaji Maharaj. Mantra number 12, day 22. So yesterday we completed mantras 10 and 11. And 11 ended with 10 actually ended with the imperishable cannot be attained by the perishable, and Yama, Lord Yama, evidently wishes to praise Nachiketas for his divine qualities. So Lord Yama has praised Nachiketas so much that he even compares to himself that he was not like Nachiketa, and he did a lot of tapas, lot of yagya, lot of Agni, Havan, to reach this stage where he is now Lord Yama. And then he said, even this will terminate, that this lordship of mine will exist until the termination of the creation. So when there will be dissolution of the world or Mahapralaya, then this glorious attainment that he also got as Lord Yama or Lordship will be ended, whereas glorious attainment that Nachiketas has renounced, he's saying, I don't want all those, because he knows that it is perishable. And Lord Yama said he didn't know at that time about this, that it will be perishable. So that's why he is praising Nachiketa so much that he is not even settling in for anything that is perishable. He wants the third boon as non-perishable, something that is eternal, something that is forever. So that is why he has the question about the soul. Is there soul beyond the death of this body? What happens to that soul? So that's what he wants to learn from Lord Yama, the boon, the third boon. And then mantra 11 was, the self is beyond illusion. That's what Lord Yama is telling him, that the Atman, the self, is beyond illusion. There is no illusion, there is no Maya. Having known the self to be eternal and imperishable, Nachiketas, because he knew that, that is why he renounced even the glorious worlds of heaven. He even renounced the heaven. He said, I don't even want heaven. So Om Bhu, Om Bhuva, Om Suva. So Om Bhu Sanyastamaya, Om Bhuva Sanyastamaya, Om Swaha Sanyastamaya. If you want to work on this path of liberation, merging with the Lord, you should at least chant these three mantras. Om Bhu Sanyastamaya, Om Bhuva Sanyastamaya, Om Swaha Sanyastamaya. So sannyas means you are giving it up. Sanyastam. So total purity, total. That's what nyasa is, bringing in purification. Sannyasa is total purification. So we sannyasas, as I have taken the oath of sannyasahood, I must dikshit sannyasi. So striving on that path, even a saint, a sannyasa needs food, water, shelter, clothing, these basic. And I'm still purifying myself. I'm still walking on that path, trying to reach that heights where nothing will matter. And on this path, when you tread on this path, you slip some days, and when you slip, you don't just stay there. As you fall down, you don't stay there on the ground forever. Or don't start asking what happened, why, who did this, who did that. Just simply, first thing to do is to get up. So if you slip in some things, your senses, or there are some things that cannot be forgiven. Lord will not forgive a sannyasi for some things that is forever. You a big vow, but some things like you might get angry, or you might feel that sense of eating, that you wanna eat some tikhapan, some khattapan, so some sour, some more spicy food. So that is not that it's not allowed, but yes, being a non-veg for a sannyasi, that is not allowed. So it is about having compassion for the fact that every soul in every being is from that one source, the same Lord, the same Supreme Consciousness, from where every soul has arrived. Just that the covering, the clothing, the embodiment, or you call it a shell, that differs, but the soul is the same, from the same source in different embodiments. So we do not have any right. So especially when you have taken a vow, then you should not do that. But it's okay when those who have not taken vows, if they are eating, then a time will come. If you're walking on that path, you ask for help from the Lord, you ask for that Shakti, wisdom, pray for that, then a time will come you will automatically not want to. If you feel at this time you are walking on that path, you are a beginner, it's okay. But every time when you eat food, you have to pray and then eat food. So Lord Yama is saying, oh Nachiketas, because you knew about the perishable things and non-perishable things, because of that you have renounced all perishable items and even the glorious worlds of heaven. So mantra number 12, day 22 continues as that Atman, the absolute self, is eternal. That means it's forever. The self, even in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explains that the soul is everlasting, eternal. The body is perishable, whereas the soul is not perishable. No one can cut the soul. No one can kill the soul. No one can dry the soul. No one can wet the soul. So no matter how much you try, the soul cannot be burned. The soul cannot be dried. The soul cannot be cut. The soul cannot be drowned in water. Everything, because it is eternal. So even to that point that there has been research going on trying to know more about the soul, and they say it's God particle because they try to see the soul when the body dies, when the soul leaves a body. They try to catch that soul. What is it that leaves the body and the body is now pronounced as dead? But no one can ever see it. No one has been able to prove it. That soul, that no one can see it either. Even it breaks the glass and goes out, no one sees it. What it looks like, what's the form, what's the color, because it's absolute self, it's eternal, all pervading, hidden in the cave of the heart. So it's why do we talk so much about the heart? The heart beats. Why does the heart beat? How does the heart beat? So this body is so complicated. We need how many doctors for different parts of this body to cure the body, and how many doctors we have for the soul. So the Rishi Munis, the saints, the sages, and sannyasis, those who walk on the path of this self-realization, they are called the doctors of the soul. They concentrate on the soul rather than the body. To purify your soul is through your thought, words, and action. And it must be aligned. It should be aligned. If you think something good, you say something good, and you take action something good. If you say, oh Lord, if you just think, if that thought comes that I will offer a beautiful flower at the lotus feet of the Lord today, if that thought came, and you should say the same, and you should do the action as the same. If you have said it, you do it. Sometimes thoughts come, we are unable to say, we are unable to perform. Sometimes thoughts come, we say it, but we are unable to perform. So remember that, and you can do it sometimes later. And sometimes our speech may be not in the most polite, most perfect. So you learn from your mistakes and then move forward, trying your best to correct it for the future. But this is where I'm saying we slip sometimes. But Gurudev says, he teaches us that a snake, first it hisses. It does not bite right away. The snake hisses. It's just to give that I am here and I am now getting ready. You better not. And same time, I would also explain about the bees or the hornets, these biting insects. So when they are sitting on their hive, if you go near, if you try to disturb them or unknowingly you disturb them, they will come, zzz, they'll fly, they'll come around you or near you, but they won't bite you. So that's the warning. And then you should just get away from there. Don't do anything, because they think you've come to harm them. So that time you get away. But if you try it again, then for sure. Second time maybe they'll fly and they'll warn you again. Third time for sure no. So I had in childhood I did some mischievous things, and I did that. I saw a hornet hive on the plant of a chili plant, and I thought I was so smart and I could take a long stick and break it. So slowly when I took the stick near the hornet hive and I went at the root and I hit it hard, the hornets started flying, zzz, but the hive did not break. It was so strong. And what I did, little did I know, so I'm talking about my experience. The second time, I hit it harder. When they all settled down, I hit it harder, saying, they'll not bite me. They didn't bite me. So I hit it harder. And they again went, and they came a little bit more nearer to me. But I sat down and they didn't do anything. And my God, I now think of that time. The third time, as soon as I took the stick just a little near to the hive, they came all the way. They bit me all over on my face, on my arms. So that's how I learned. I'm having goosebumps telling this story. So this is where we slip, but we learn from it. I didn't learn the second time. So that is why I got bitten. So we all have to strive. If we slip, we learn, and then learn the better. So here, having known the self, who is difficult to perceive through intuitional experience, the hero among the aspirants goes beyond pleasure and pain. So those aspirants who go beyond pleasure and pain, if there is pleasure, you accept it. If there is pain, you accept it. And if you feel good performing some actions, which is positive actions that leads you on the path of liberation, then like meditating, like offering flowers, doing abhishekam, do more. If it is painful, again surrender to God. Whether it's pleasure or pain, surrender to God and say, Lord, it is austerity, and treat that as austerity. Know that it is austerity and say, oh Lord, I surrender unto you. And Lord will give you the Shakti, will give you the strength to endure and to be able to perform it. He will bear so much of your pain. So a hero among the aspirants is one who is able to direct his mind towards the eternal within him. That means when you breathe in, just like the other day I was saying, when you breathe in, mentally chant Om. When you hold the breath, mentally chant Om. And when you exhale, again, when you are around people, you can mentally chant Om. Or you can, when you start exhaling, you can say Om. But when you breathe in, then while you are breathing in, you cannot be chanting Om loudly either. So when you breathe in, mentally, holding mentally Om. So, but when you exhale, that's the time you can chant loudly if you are alone. So that's a way of pranayama also. So your stomach should, when you breathe in, stomach diaphragm coming out, your chest out, and your chin up higher, all the way to the brim of your nose. You filled your lungs and chest and nose, nostrils with air. Then when you start chant and hold for a minute, and then after, hold for a moment until the moment you can. Don't force to hold for too long. Just enough until you really want to exhale. Then when you exhale, your chin goes down, your chest goes, your shoulder shrugs goes down, and your diaphragm goes in all the way until all air is out. So once you start bringing your chin down, then your Om comes out, the louder, the voice. Om. So that's how you do the pranayam. So a hero among the aspirants is one who is able to direct the mind towards the eternal within him. So that's the time you feel that Om and the Om resonating within the cave of your heart, giving you strength, giving you light, that vision. It's always good to close your eyes while you are doing that, and you also have that vision, the vision of that Om, the vision of that light, the effulgence of light within your heart. And you can also, when you are breathing in, you can take in the fragrance also with that Om. And when you are holding, you can mentally chant Om and also think about offering flowers and offering light. So that's real meditation. So Lord Yama continues his instructions for his disciple Nachiketas regarding the nature of the self. He says that self transcends time, space, and causation. So the earth plane, the astral plane, and the causal, the heavenly, everything is transcended. It is one and universal. That self is one with the supreme, and it is universal. It is eternal and infinite. It is forever, and there is no beginning, there is no end. So it cannot be perceived by the senses and the mind. So the mind and senses cannot perceive that self, that Atman, because it is the basis of them. Only that Atman causes the senses and the mind to exist. So the Atman is, obviously you know that it is higher than the mind and senses. So that is why when you chant Om, your senses quieten down, your mind quietens down. That is why we meditate, to quieten down the waves of our mind, the chitta, the mind stuff, the senses, intellect, ego. All these has to calm down. So, but it, that means the self, can be perceived by intuitive realization. Intuition means your inner reflection, your inner voice, your inner self. That self, that intuition that comes within you, that can help you realize the self. When mind is purified, only then you get the intuitive realization. And also by hearing. So when mind is purified, by what? How can you purify the mind? By hearing the scriptures. This is Lord Yama telling. By hearing the scriptures from the lips of a guru, reflecting over the meaning of the Upanishads. And number 2 is meditating upon the nature of the self constantly. One rises above the limited functions of the mind. So mind is also limited, just know that. You have to go beyond the physical body, beyond the mind, beyond the senses. So senses, and then above senses is the mind, because the mind is able to control the senses. If you are strong enough. But the self, that intuitive knowledge, is above the mind also. So upon the nature of the self constantly while you are meditating, one rises above the limited functions of the mind and attains the intuitive vision which reveals the self. So it's not a one day thing, one night thing. It takes long, many years to practice that. Some are able to reach higher levels very quickly in this embodiment. Why? And some struggle a lot. No matter how much they try, they cannot. Why? This is because those who can do it easily, they have brought it from their past life. They have practiced that a lot. So there is very little left to practice and reach the highest goal. That is why they came back into the world and they start. Nothing is lost. Even your bad karma and your good karma, all whatever was not used or purged, it comes back with you if you come back in another human embodiment. And when you are in the lower side of the species, that means you had bad karmas and you are hospitalized in that embodiment, the lower embodiment, just to purge that bad karma. Even then doesn't mean all is purged. Then later on you come back as human being, given another chance. Lord is very merciful. He keeps giving another chance and another chance and another chance. And the Devi Devatas had lots of good karmas. So they are given chance because they wanted heaven. So they are given chance to now purge those good karmas. So they are in the higher embodiment. Whereas the humans, they are purging the bad karmas, the good karmas, and they are able to also build new bad karmas and good karmas. So if your good karmas are higher, you go back to heaven, come back. But if you are in the highest realm, doing all good things here, and then you can be self-realized. And you can merge into the supreme consciousness and never be born again. So that is the actual liberation, the true liberation. So he says, one rises above the limited functions of the mind upon while meditating upon the nature of the self constantly and attains the intuitive vision which reveals the self. Otherwise the self remains veiled. So just like the mirror, when it has got lots of dust on it, you cannot really see your face even though you stand in front of the mirror. So when you clean the mirror, and so many times we clean it very clearly, very nicely. If you clean it a little bit, still the vision is blurry. But if you use that, what do you call, the Windex, the cleaners, if you wipe it out very nicely, then you have a very clear vision. Same with the lake. When the lake is very calm, you see the reflection of the nearby trees exactly like that. As soon as you throw a pebble, the water starts shaking, or if the water gets muddy, you can't see any reflection. So that's how our self is. If you have too much of that dust or shakiness or doubts, and you put a veil, that means that becomes a veil, ignorance, that becomes a barrier, and you are unable to realize the self, you are unable to have that intuitive vision. And that veil is also called Maya, the illusion. So otherwise the self remains veiled by Maya, the divine illusion. So just like the illusion you have in the desert that there is water, but when you go nearby, there's no water. That's so illusory. So is this world, the Maya, that looks so real, but it's not real because there is a beginning and there is an end. Whereas the self, there is no beginning, no end. But if you have a veil, if you have kept it impure, your mind, your thoughts, then that all that becomes collected there as a veil, and the harder it becomes to realize that self. And that the divine illusion which hides the reality and reveals it, that reveals the self as something else in the form of objects that perish, conditions that are illusory, and experiences that are ephemeral. So, thus ends mantra number 12. It's very deep, very detailed, and therefore I don't want to go on to mantra number 13 today. And we will move on to number 13. This is something that we have to go very slowly because of the depths of this Upanishad. You all are, whoever is listening, if you listen today, it is very, very fruitful, and lots of blessings may Lord Narayan shower upon you, as the Ajaya Kadashi is, the story is about. A very profound king who had everything, but he followed the path of truth. And he lost all that. He gave up all that. And then later Lord, because he was being tested, and then later Lord gave everything back to him and told him that you were being tested. I want you to listen to it, and then you will be able to know. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May you receive the blessings of Ajaya Kadashi as I am fasting today. May you receive the blessings of this fasting also, and may you prosper in spirituality as well as in your positive, auspicious worldly duties. Hari Om Tat Sat. This is Swami Lalita Priyananda, and our group, Swami Nikhilananda and Swami Lalita Priyananda, both of us, have this Divine Souls group, and that is known as Divine Souls group, whereas it is Integral Yoga Foundation, also known as Divine Souls group, Sacramento, California. Hari Om Tat Sat. And we have a Facebook page if you are willing to listen to more satsanga. We share every satsanga there on that page, because on the personal page it gets, I wouldn't say lost, but it becomes shallow, deep, like more of down and down. You have to search a lot, whereas on the page you don't have to search a lot, because it is all about satsanga and contemplations and messages, daily messages. So Integral Yoga Foundation, also known as aka Divine Souls Group. Integral Yoga Foundation, aka Divine Souls Group. That's how you can search the Facebook page. May you all flourish, may you all prosper. Shakti, Bhakti, Mukti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Divine blessings to you and your near and dear ones. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Narayan, Narayan, Bhajamana Narayan. Narayan, Narayan, Bhajamana Narayan. Murali Sham, Mohan Sham, Murali Mohan Sham. Mere Ram, He Ghanshyam. Jai 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 Guru Naam, Jai 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 Guru Naam. Hari Om Tat Sat.